Will Ravengard. Has a ring to it, doesn't it? It sounds like a fate you earned. I can't think of a better caretaker for the city I love. You're going to do so much for Baldur's Gate, Will. What's on your mind?
Duke Will Ravengard, a moniker justly earned.
The Grand Duke to be. I'd follow you into battle, Will. But politics? I think I am perhaps too faint of heart. The cub speaks. Huh. Not so much a term of age or affection as simple old habit. You object? And will be again. But now I shall mutter them under my breath, out of respect. Ask it. I am no expert on the matter, despite all my experience. But if anything I know can help you resist your father, only ask it. Not mad, no. Take Zarevok, for example. For as much carnage as he caused, there was always a cold calculation to it. He craved power, and his bloodline was just another path to achieve it. I saw that same bloodline turn to better ends than Baal ever intended for it. It was Baalspawn who threatened the coast, and Baalspawn who saved it. It is possible to go on to live a life outside your father's shadow. Baal was but the beginning. Be warned. A godspawn draws trouble like iron to lodestone. There will be crusaders who wish to rid the world of your taint, or jealous minds who believe themselves more deserving of the power in your blood. But happiness is not beyond a Baalspawn. It simply comes at a higher cost. Constant vigilance. Then you are wise. I will not mince words. If what you told me is true, you are already further under Baal's power than my old friend ever was. But, so long as you fear that power, there is hope. Fear means you are not fully mad. Not yet. Baal had his minions, certainly. But none that watched over their wards so diligently. I wonder if past experience has taught the great god to fear that another of his children might turn against him. Yes? Your rancid father will try to twist your thoughts, as he did with all his children. The harder you resist, the darker your dreams become. Our camp was often roused by screams in the night back then. We learned to take them as a marker of pride. Even gods can be resisted. A Baalspawn can sire children, certainly. Whether they should... There are things in our nature we might unwittingly pass on, yes. But I do not believe them stronger than the things we choose to pass on. If you are asking whether love and joy are beyond you, just because of the taint in your blood? No. They most certainly are not. Oh dear. Should I brace myself for some fashion advice? But I suppose you have earned better than glibness from me. It was a gift from my husband Khalid. He was a harper. A better one than me, truth be told. Any idiot can swing a sword, but to believe in the cause with the whole of your heart, a much trickier thing. He died. Alone. In pain. And far too young. Murdered by a mage who craved immortality. I'll not grant it by naming him in the same breath as my husband.
The quiet, unassuming shadow to Jaheira's strength, Khalid was another warrior who helped end the Baalspawn crisis. Shortly after, he was murdered by the mad mage John Irenicus.
Nothing that wasn't already there. Fear not. But I've lived many lifetimes since Khalid died. You, twine your life around the people you love. And when they are gone, you grow around their absence instead. It is just another way they shape you. Which is my sage way of saying, I am in no danger of forgetting how my husband died, but I choose to remember how he lived. I've never known a warrior to go so far out of his way to avoid a fight, which meant the few he chose, most harpers, swagger and flash their feathers to catch your attention. Khalid was quiet to a fault. And when we were married, on an upturned cart in the rainy Dalelands, he stammered so much. I've never been sure if our vows actually counted. Oh, I'm sure time and an aging mind has smoothed out a few of his flaws. But he was a good man. The songs make much of Khalid's meekness. The quiet little harper who had to keep a tight hold on his courage, but he had it when it counted. And more than that, he had compassion. When you live a harper's life, see all that a harper sees, that is by far the harder thing to hold on to. But a bard can tell you all the rest. As for all the things they cannot, well, I shall just have to keep those for myself.
The cub speaks.
Ask it.
You speak of a battle more than a century past. Baal's minions led us through a maze in the Undercity, older than Baldur's Gate itself. We paid little mind to the path ahead, let alone how we might return, or that we would return at all. Still, the Undercity shifts. We might search down there. Or better yet, find a ballast to lead us.
I've learned not to unpick the legends so many have woven around our name. Seeing the hope die in a romantic's eyes, it is only funny the first few dozen times. Some call the Harpers heroes. Others, petty meddlers who cannot help but stick their nose into every conflict they stumble across. The truth is in there somewhere. We try to work towards a common balance. If every other faction finds us equally annoying, that is probably a sign that we are succeeding. You might say that. I left their service and swore never to return. Multiple times, if I recall. It is easy to get tired of the intrigue. The high causes shrouded in secrecy. I thought I might find another way to be of use to the world. And for a time I did. But my comrades would use a rather irritating phrase. A harper never leaves the chorus. She simply goes to spread the song. Meaning that whatever cause I turned my hand to, there I would find them. Harpers, stuffed with their own virtue, but always there. Always trying to help. So I returned to the fold. Returned to the city. Eventually they hung a title around my neck. High Harper. And I still do not know how to play one. If I wanted to spare Geraldus the same headaches, well, you now know why I needed him to be sure this is the life he wants. But you're staring. Which means the tadpole has finally eaten your brain. Or have I been talking too much? Either way, time to move, no? I will not bore you with a long tale. The short. I was born to a high family in Tethir. I remember little except that when my family fell, they fell far and fast. I learned young what fear and hunger make desperate people do. I learned to do some of it myself even. Until a roving circle of hedge druids found me. They raised me in the wild. But when it became clear I was, perhaps not suited to a life of idle reflection, I was sent to the Harpers. To do. They showed me how to fight with sword, as well as spell, and gave me ample causes to wield them for. If I was not always the truest believer in every cause, well, I fell in love with someone who was. And that is almost the same thing. Ha! No. No, thank you. Let the wiser members of my order wrinkle their brows over that particular phrase. In all my years fighting for the Harpers, I am still never certain what the greater good means. I've learned to be content with, well, that was not so bad as it might have been. More than I would like. In my youth, I was a brief and very much unwilling member of a colony's hive mind. I felt the way they think, saw the world as they do. Foul, unnatural creatures who find the foulness in us and twist it to their will. But then, who am I speaking to? You have far more experience than I. Do not be moved to pity. It is a predator pinned in a trap. And if it wriggles free, you'll find it still has teeth. The cub speaks. If you wish, it's it is a ritual. If they, in greener days, I might have been strong enough to do it. I might be yet, with the right preparations. Do not look at me like that. I have been content to see the span of my natural years. A privilege far too few in this world can claim. I do not speak of clinging to life for its own sake, I just look back on that life's work and I wonder, is it done? The dead three plague the world still. The city still falls prey to small minds like Gortash or lost souls like Orin. It is every Harper's hope to be a light that drives out darkness. But I've lived long enough to see so many of those lights burn out, while the shadows cling stubbornly on. Knowing that, isn't it our duty to burn on if we can? To fight for as long as we are able?
I wallowed in darkness for too long. If I could extend the time I have left in the light, I think I'd take it.
Perhaps. But if the darkness is really going to swallow everything as you Sharan say, it should at least have to work for its supper. A noble sentiment. But but I wonder if it would not lose some of its luster over the long years. I spent most of my life fighting those who tried to escape their end. Gatherick, Irenicus, Sarevok. That is not company I would like to keep. In truth, I had put this ritual from my mind. Until last light. Trapped in that darkness. I turned to my research again. What if I was a little stronger? As fast as I once had been. Then you came. And made the question moot. But I kept this. Just in case, I told myself. A final resort. Perhaps you were not the savior you seemed. I had learned better than to think of life as some simple tale after all. There is no guarantee of happy endings, or true heroes. I believe that still. But when I look on all that we have achieved since, I wonder perhaps it is not heroes we need. Only people who are willing to try. I do not know what manner of story that makes. But I do know that without an ending, it would be no story at all. So I will accept mine. When and however it comes. As for this city story, well... Well, that is entirely your problem now, Cub. I have no plans to lie down and die. Well, perhaps a little lying down when all of this is done. But I do not plan on going anywhere just yet. And besides, you still have a tadpole in your skull. You're almost certainly going to die first. Ask it. But then, who am I speaking about? The gods can grant power or... The cub speaks. Ask it. Hmm? No, not really. It... There. Have I full... Oh, good. Then I am under no obligation to be wise.
So Jaheira is willing to embrace mortality, the ultimate form of retirement, and that's thanks to impressing her through your actions. Quite the compliment. Aren't you a sight for sore eyes?
The cub speak.
Should I ever take to the astral plane, I'll have no need of scrolls to secure my immortality. Still, it is becoming of a mortal to accept their fate, as Jaheira does. Not everyone is meant to live longer than the stars.
Just when I think I can't respect Jaheira anymore, she hits me with a grenade right to the heart. I couldn't agree with her more. There's more to life than time. It isn't about how long you're here. It's about what you do with whatever time you've got. And Jaheira? Well, I don't think anyone spent their hours better than her.
swing. You have beaten and tormented us to the brink of insanity. You cut out my eyes, but we will bow no more. Gondians! Rip the motivator from this bastard's hands! For Gond!
I want this madness to end. I want to go home. Please, make it stop.
What happened to Obelia? Is she safe? My heart. I thought her lost. I would give more than just my sight to keep her safe. Our destination is the Neurosita, the nerve center of the Steel Watch. Guide me there, and I'll do the rest. My fellow Gondians, flee this prison. We're bringing this place down.
Burn this place to the ground, and the Bane I want my house, and my cat.
We need to move. The Neurosita...
Tubin said you were on the way. Glad to see the old man is still as crafty as ever. Keep going. We've got your back.
We're near cadaver preparation, aren't we? Poor bastards are shipped in from all over the realms. Most come from a fellow called Balthazar, by way of Moonrise Towers.
As the brain, swimming with parasitic juices, connects with yours. With a jerk, your mind is transported. You look down, your body of pure steel and power whirring. A dwarf cowers before you.
Please, Mr. Steel Watcher, sir. I'll never steal again. I swear it on my mum's life. Just let me go.
You take control, but it is a struggle. Your body freezes as the parasite fights back.
So, I can go. Oh, thank you, Mr. Steel Watcher, thank you.
You are kicked from the Watcher as the dwarf flees, unaware of how close he came to death. The parasite does not The parasite stirs within the pickled brain, twitching. You are a Steel Watcher, charging through the streets in pursuit of a young girl. She is screaming. For a split second, you wrest control. The Steel Watcher's legs lock. It crashes to the ground. The little girl disappears down. Your tadpole eagerly responds to the parasite in the brain jar. You are a Steel Watcher, a guardian of...
He said he was Flaming Fist. That we had to empty our pockets if we wanted to enter the city. We didn't know it was a scam. We have nothing left, and my kids are half-starved. Please, let us into the city. We have nowhere else to go.
Your gears whine in protest, but you force your body to one side, gesturing for the family to enter the city.
Thank you, Sarah. Come on, kids. Grab your bags. Hurry.
You are kicked from the Watcher's brain. The family runs into Baldur's Gate, unnoticed by the parasite. The brain in this jar is aware that its watcher is on duty in the control center. Vast, the watcher this brain controls is offline for maintenance. You catch a glimpse. Brain dreams. Images of life. The brain in this jar is controlling a watcher
Wait.
on sentry.
Elevator gyroscopes, triple set quadrupex. No, it can't be. I hear it through the floor. Powerful,
Indestructible.
It shames me to admit this, but you must face this beast of Gondian folly when it raises its shields. Strike it with every scrap of magic and might you possess.
Where am I needed? Heading out.
I cannot follow you. It is time.
Rossiter awaits your input. The Neurocitor is the epicenter of the Steel Watch, controlling and connecting every single watcher in the city. Its technology is far beyond anything you have ever seen. You'll need more than magic or steel to destroy it. The machine doesn't respond. This will destroy the Foundry, wiping it from the face of the Forgotten Realms.
The Neurocitor. I can hear its hum. Familiar, yet painful. I helped design the Steel Watchers, toiled night and day on the first bipedal prototype. It is fitting it ends this way. I will bring down not only the Steel Watch, but the very Foundry itself. This place will be smoke and rubble when I am finished. Are you ready, my friend? Like the Foundry, the Neurocitor's exterior is near impossible to penetrate. However, its inner circuitry is highly unstable. I'm going to rain fire upon it from the inside out. Gond, let your hammer be my courage, your furnace my heart.
There's no time to waste.
Blackett's will be done.
What a charmer.
The work is never done.
Careful! Lots of open flames down here. I don't want that bomb close to any of them. What is it?
A rune pounder bomb? Huh. What the devil has he become? The Wulbrin I know. The one who skipped rocks with me in the Underdark. He's still in there. I know it. But his hate for the Gondians has blinded him. He believes they work for the Absolute willingly. But it's not true. I'm sure of it. Something is wrong. Very wrong. Please, speak to them before you do anything. They deserve a chance to plead their case before... That's all. Questions first.
Careful! Lots of open flames down here. I don't want that bomb close to any of them. What is it?
Heading out.
That was a hell of a show, my friend. Watchers collapse in the street as we speak. And the foundry. The scent of rune powder drifts through the city like a warm embrace. I see my bomb did the trick, but it's not over. So long as a single parasitic Gondian remains, Baldur's Gate is under threat.
Enough, Wulbrin. Gortash enslaved us, forced us to build his steel watches, but no more. Take the city, let the Iron Hands reign supreme. I just wish to go home and hold my daughter.
Please. If a Gondian told me the sky was blue, I'd look outside and check. You Gondians will lie, scheme, and torment this city until your dying breaths. Let's end this!
Wulbrin, enough! I won't watch as you poison your soul and the brilliant future that remains to the Iron Hand gnomes. I thought the Iron Hand gnomes had corrupted you, Wulbrin. Now, I wonder if it wasn't the other way around. Kill the Gondians, and you kill all we love. Collaboration, challenge, solving problems with the power of reason, creativity, and invention. I still want to believe you're better than that, Wulbrin. But even I am having my doubts. I say you're right. They deserve a leader who'll encourage them to create, not destroy. They deserve someone like me. I can't save you from yourself, Wulbrin. It hurts terribly, but I can't. Toss your values in the bin if you want, but don't throw out the Iron Hands with them.
This is ridiculous. Iron Hands. Kill this man. How dare you? Cowards!
The Gondians recognize Barkus Root as leader of the Iron Hand gnomes. and look forward to ushering in a new peace between our factions.
It is with a heavy heart that I remove Wulbrin Bongal from our ranks. You have until first light to leave the city. Wulbrin.
I expect treachery from all sides, but you, little Barkus, the boy who followed me from the Underdark, who clung to me like moss to stone, when we next meet, my hammer will cleave your skull in two, and that is a promise!
Whatever it takes.
The pride of the gate. Keeping pace.
What do you mean? What else is down?
Great steel watchers. Bloody
It is pleasurable to see you. Your intervention within the cult's underwater complex was a timely one. I am glad my carelessness did not cost the life of Duke Ravengard. That you also saved me was unexpected. Such kinship is unnatural for two such as we are. Yet, I too feel some. Your inclination to generosity is an admirable quality, one I wish to reciprocate. Blurg and I have consulted on the matter of your reward. We first thought to ask the denizens of the Underdark for their aid in fighting the cult. Alas, our influence there remains negligible. Instead, we have selected a series of items from the Society's vaults. Given my kind's involvement in creating this evil, it is only right that I do my part in helping you defeat it, or at least improving your odds.
How do you...
Says from within, it wants to share itself with you.
Go on. Don't be afraid. Wait. Remember. Commune with it. You'll see. It only wants to...
A coldness seeps through your veins as the tadpole awakens. The tadpole's essence courses. You feel different. You're...
My children. My sweet ones. What have they done to you?
I'm hungry, Father. I'm so hungry.
It hurts, Father. The hunger. It never stops.
Please, do you know of anything that can be done? I've been fighting it, but I think you're right. Better that than they start feeding off humans.
For supplies, seek the bugbear. I am Uktar, duly elected guild bursar, and I will not have my time wasted.
Uktar, 11th month of the year, more commonly known as the Rotting, the time in which all things decay and die.
A Gift from Nine Fingers. She has a penchant for literal names, and her cronies ensured it stuck. I need not love to serve. I clearly recall asking you not to waste my time. It is guild business I take seriously, as you ought to. Specifically, the acquisition of vault keys. The wealthy squirrel their riches away in the city's counting house, where I acquire keys and allow these funds to circulate, like lifeblood in a healthy body. Everyone benefits. So, have you made an acquisition? Ah, a rather ancient patron of the counting house. He has accrued quite a bit of interest, I'd wager. Glitterbeard. He was given mastery of the counting house over me, you know. Well deserved, wouldn't you say? Then our business is done.
Before you ask, I ain't got none of that plum Prosecco. Now, what can I get? Around here, silence is golden, mate. Beverages of distinction. Or the last stain I had to clean up off the floor said the same.
What's the point in paying the guild for protection when they've pulled back all their...
What's all this now, then?
They're saying the Steel Watchers just fell flat where they stood.
No distractions, mate. Nine Fingers has me watching over Pierre Priss here. Wants her friends in Parliament close with this new Duke making moves.
Any guild members?
You did not see me. A peer of the
No time. The Zentarim have turned, the rotward bastards. So, if you're part of it, take your shot. Anything else can wait. Good? Because, come on then.
See? All that bloodshed and not a stone lord to be seen.
You won't catch me looting all that.
Make sure to get your share of the Zent.
I'm sorry, sweetie pie. I don't do requests. But toss me a few coppers, and I'll shoot you a saucy wink across the bar. Very kind of you, sir. I'll be dedicating the next keening elven ballad to you. You look like the type to enjoy one. Now.
We're in the Guildmaster's good graces.
Didn't think the Zentarim would turn on us so easily. Inatra seemed honest. Gods help me.
Don't know what King was thinking, inviting Zentarim.
Ukta. I remain guild bursar, whoever sits in the big chair. I do not hand out loans, specifically the acquisition. Sir, have you made an acquisition?
The price is here, the top side.
Wow, look who it is. Glad to see you in the city. Hope you found plenty of coin in Ketterick's coffers. Ready to do some business? Oh, I've got a few ideas. I'll be running this whole place in no time. Sure is. We work for Fetcher, handling what you might call pre-owned goods. Talk to Sticky. Ready to do some business? Give me that! Can't have this floating around loose. I thought I was meant to be the thief. So what if it is? Choosing the right allies is just common sense. You wouldn't have made it this far on your own. Big Raff doesn't own me. He's just giving me the tools to keep myself alive and to take what I want. As for what that is, well, you didn't think I planned to stop at running the Fetcher's brats, did you? You should know by now that I'm not everyone. If Raphael doesn't know that yet, he'll learn. You bloody idiot! You can kill half the devils in the hells for all I care, but Raphael was my patron. He made promises. This is just a hiccup, though. I'll still run this city one day, with or without Raff, and when I do, my guild won't look on you too kindly. Talk to Sticky. Until I come to...
Don't mind the ladies' court. We're just playing a new game. What we'd call you if you joined our ranks. Where you're going, we might just let you.
We serve her still, and so do you. Lord? Leper.
Suppose I should have seen that coming. Zentarim aren't known for their loyalty, but I thought the bastards would keep to their contract at least. I'm too nice for my own good, I suppose. But I was in a pit, and you helped pull me out. For that, I'm grateful. You'll have what guild blades I can give when the time to take the Absolute comes. So, just tell me what you need to get us there. Oh, did you enjoy the encounter? I have no doubt you gave them a good talking to. The rats usually keep a lid on their nastier notions, but with the Stone Lord business distracting me, some are starting to test the leash. All the more reason to be rid of the cult quickly, so I can remind my crews it's not a leash round their necks if they cross me. It's a noose. You have done plenty. Do any more, and the guild might have to take a special interest in you. Understood? Great. You have. The Flaming Fist can be bought. The Harpers are scattered, and the Parliament of Beers, well, they're just generally too inbred to be useful. The Absolute's at our gate, and the Guild are the only ones truly standing against it. Knowing what I know usually comes at a cost. But let's say we'll put it on your tab. Ha! Which part? The Stone Lords hollowed this place out. Half my crews have fled or in hiding. You might have removed Gortash, but Orin's Faceless are still circling. When the Absolute's army arrives to wage war on the city, our best hope is to make sure they have no leaders in here willing to open the gates for them. Simple enough. After Jaheira warned me, and I could bore you with the details. How I found evidence of Gortash's projects, traced him to Orin the Red, and made a safe bet there was some dried-out old necromancer to round out the three. Because it's always the dead, bloody three. Has been half-gods who can't help but make their irrelevance everyone else's problem. Oh. You've got some juicy little tidbit I haven't heard yet. Huh. It seems like my intelligence on you was patchy at best. That's annoying. You are until you're not. But if there's a tainted elder brain slopping around below my city, I think we need one another more than ever. So, as long as you can keep a lid on what's growing inside you, simple enough, I reckon. Now, war to be fought. You have a cult to kill. What do you need? You do any more, and the guild might have to. Knowing what I know, you... Thieves, frauds, and miscreants. If it's just the watch. The guild isn't any one thing. We're everything. All the parts of the city the Watch don't want seen, so they push us to the far side of their law. But it's not the Watch that keeps the peace, or gives justice to any Baldurian who asks, whether they can pay for it or not. It's us. If we take a little tribute in return, or tie strings of service to those we help, well, what of it? So long as we're working as one, it all runs quick, quiet, and clean. If you'd prefer to trust in the Watch, the Council, the Parliament of Peers, by all means. They're the pretty face slapped over the city. But the Guild is the blood, the bone, the gristle, the ugly bits that actually make Baldur's Gate move. We'll be the ones still holding the gate when all those others have fled.
It's hard to keep a good woman down, isn't it, Karlach?
I don't know. You managed it for a solid decade.
I never meant to harm you, dear. Merely to help you realize your vast potential.
You sent me to the hells. You let Zariel take my heart, as though any of it was yours to give away.
The greater good, Karlach. Something I wouldn't expect you to understand.
You feel no regret, do you? All right. How about fear, then?
Oh, you do quite misunderstand. I've already made a deal with your companion. We need each other.
Do we now? The man doesn't know the meaning of the word respect. He'll double-cross us at the first opportunity.
You're wrong, Karlach. I'm sorry you're still sore about how things ended between us, but that was 10 years ago. We must look to the future.
You have no future. There will come a time, sooner than you think, When death comes knocking on your door, you'll swing that door open, and you'll cower before what you see, and you'll beg, "Please, Karlach, spare me. I can't wait."
Time for a chat.
I once saw value in our alliance, but you have proven most disloyal. Your actions sparked the fall of my steel watch. Whatever bargain we might have made fell with it.
There is hesitation in his eye for one moment. A passing thought of all times spent together you'll never remember.
Is that what you... The brain awakens. It's time I take matters into my own hands. We could have moved mountains. We could have shaken the plains. And you chose imperfection. I think I will hang your corpse in the wide. The Archduke's would-be assassin. The people will celebrate your fall and my part in it. Your bones will be a souvenir of what could have been. Now, roll over and die. Give up your life just as easily as you were ready to give up the stones.
So Gortash is nothing more than a pile of flesh? Same as the rest of us. Feel like I should laugh, but just too goddamn tired. Is that it then? Killed the bastard who ruined my life, and now I crawl into a corner and die? Am I fucking missing something? I'm beyond overwhelmed. I'm finished. He's dead. And he's no fucking sorrier now than he was before. What was the point? I'm still dying. I'm dying. I'm going to die. Don't say that. Say you found some way to fix me. That now Gortash is dead, I'll get my heart back. My heart. It was mine. And they took it. I'm going to be as dead as Gortash any day now. Any moment. And what then? Off to the City of Judgment to waste into oblivion? Into the dirt to get eaten by maggots? Is that it for me? Is that fucking all? And you'll just keep going, won't you? Watching the stars, warming your hands on the campfire, dancing, eating, making fucking love all night. All of it, all of it! That's my reward for everything I suffered. That's why I survived 10 years of torment. The fighting, the clawing, the loneliness, the fucking loneliness. All of it so I could rot. Because the person I trusted the most gave me away to the devil. It isn't fair. I don't want it like this. I don't want to die. I want to live. I want to stay. What the fuck am I supposed to do now? Let's get out of here. I've always hated this place. Stupid fucking gigantic bridge or whatever. I think I need to go to camp for a while. Be alone. Scream at the sky. You can come and find me later if you want to. Thanks for listening. For existing. Love you.
Howling like a great wind through a canyon. It engulfs your mind, drowns your senses. Above the howl rises a screech, gleeful and maniacal. It is the way and the truth. Absolute.
Leave them alone.
The screech quiets, the howl fades. Your mind is hollow, save one lone voice.
Bane's chosen has fallen. His netherstone is yours. You have done well. You heard the Elder Brain. It's regaining its autonomy. It cries not from pain, but exaltation. We must stop it before it breaks free. One netherstone remains. Orin's. We must find her and take it from her. After that, we take control of the brain. And you should start wondering what you will do then. Sometimes you surprise me with your wisdom.
You seek Gortash. His soul is already suffering at my hands. That is the fate of all those who fail me. Yes, because it is the fate you've given him. A dead Archduke is of no use to me. A living explorer. Ravengard's son, for example, is a different matter. One question asked, 4 still remain. I am Bane, the Black Lord. I am the ultimate tyrant. I am fear. I am hate. And you are the dagger that bled Merkel's favored. You are the thorns that prick at my sides. Yet you are proof that still I will rise, and Baal and Merkel will yield. Why do red dragons ally with the Githyanki? Why did the broken god befriend Tyr? Ah, but you already know the answer. By making one ally, you deny them to another. And by turning mortals illicit, you deny their souls to their keepers. You do not stoke fear by reaping your own fields, but by burning your foes. You live for power. You have proven it with every fallen foe, every chest opened, every skill claimed. As long as mortals and immortals vie for sharper blades and louder voices, I am strengthened. So it is for Baal and Merkel, and so it is for you. You make me eternal. You have already laid the foundation. You gained my favor when you slayed Gortash. Your need for power exceeds even his. Use the Netherstones to commandeer the brain and unleash your infected army. And I will count you among my chosen. Or do not. Your lust for victory still brings you one step closer to me. It is done. 5 questions and no more. Gortash is dead, but I am undying, just as you've made me.
Garlak needs time. Space. But more than this, I think. She needs to know she is not alone. And answers, justice. 10 years of her life back. All manner of things we cannot give her. She's already lost her heart. She deserves better than to have her friends heap happy lies upon her. Good. Perhaps she needs that too. The cub speaks.
Poor Karlak. Having to face her own mortality in such a definitive manner. Though the rest of us is still liable to perish, if it's any consolation. Why, hello, lover.
Karlak's fate may be written, but her story isn't ended. The histories of the greatest Githyanki warriors are recorded in slate. They are unerasable. She must make every battle her bloodiest yet. She must make herself unerasable too.
Slain! Joy! Freedom. Close. Help me. Help you. Reciprocation! Watchers! Ignore you. Foundry. Neutralized. Witnesses. Eliminated. You walk free. You won. Task. Kill Orin! Kill Orin! Kill Orin! Kill Orin!
The death of Gortash.
Look! Won't tell us how.
No more.
What has died though, will they? Classic Baldur.
Time for a chat.
Come get your copy of the Baldur's Mouth Gazette. All right there, Chief? Can I interest you? Have a gander at that.
Nothing but death, death, death. What the people want in a book?
for instance.
Thy wheel of fate turns ever to the dark. Dost thou require a new ally?
Whatever happens next, be sure that...
What's on your mind? Go on. Yeah? Hey, soldier. You're back. Yeah, despite my best efforts. I kept trying to flop over and give up, but Karlak just won't let me. Did I miss anything important? Nothing out of the ordinary, then. You know, soldier, we're so fucked. The Dark Three are trying to consume the Sword Coast. We've still got tadpoles in our eyes, and I've got a ticking time bomb in my chest. I'm not sure anyone has ever been more fucked than this. And yet, we're fine. In this moment, we're fine. Here I am. There you are. Breathing, talking, even laughing if we want. Is it very precious to say that, despite it all, I'm happy? No? I can't. I'd rather die here in Faerun, my home, than live in service to a devil. I've considered it. Believe me, I have. But it would take Zariel all of a minute to suss me out and force me back into the Blood War. I can't do it anymore. I'd wish for death every day. Let me go out surrounded by things I love, not things I hate. Speaking of which, there's something I wanted to ask you. Will you stay with me when it's time for me to go? I think I can do anything if you're there. Even die. All right. But if we don't, I hope I can count on you. You haven't let me down yet, and it'd be a poor showing to start now. Now, enough tragedy, I'm not gone yet, and our schedule is packed with important heroics, isn't it? Plus, if I cry anymore, I'm gonna run out of tears and start leaking motor oil. Thanks for everything, darling. I love you. A lot.
text on it reading, "All are awaited, all are embraced. None shall escape."
Present me well from gifts thine own, or I shall rend thy flesh from bone. To passions brash, thou art a slave. This sinful ground shall be thy grave. Me well from gifts thine own, or a grasping hand, an offering vile. Enter now the dread Lord's trial.
You gaze upon murder's progeny, child.
His most ill-trusted zealots.
His faithful departed.
Prodigal servants, each returns to do his bidding eternally.
This is the court of the dread Lord's tribunal. I am its custodian. Here come those who seek to transcend, aspirants of his most profane order, the would-be unholy assassins of Baal. But these are not aspirants. You have brought traitors of Baal into our midst. Harpa Worm, the abdicating hero. Your keen sense for this city has withered in your absence.
Sarevok, Baal's least favorite son. Still tied to Daddy's apron strings, I see.
You disappoint me, child of murder. I expected more of your return.
Sarevok Arnchev, a relic of your cursed line, a Baalspawn who failed to become chosen. And yet, the history he shares with your companion seems to run almost as deep as your own.
What purpose do you have in bringing this heretic to the court of Baal? Speak, or death will be your final word.
Do not parley with this madman. Sarevok reclaimed his soul once, and he still traded it back to his father for a pat on the head. He has earned his second death even more than his first.
You speak of the past. I speak of the future. Well, aspirant, do the shades of yesterday speak for you too? There are two paths to the Temple of Baal. To carve your devotion into flesh, or to be the carcass that is carved upon.
You make promises that aren't yours to keep. Take care that their breaking does not break something more.
I know this one well. I have traveled in her company. Whatever else may be said of her, she answers to no one but herself. It seems there is some disagreement on who is master here.
Forgive the insolence, Master.
I never thought I'd see this. The Grand Harper, brought to her knees before me. The violence pleases Baal. The domination pleases me. Your slaves may stand, the better to bear witness. You are something truly glorious, child. Are you here to have your vengeance on my granddaughter, Orin? She is the child of my child, and your bloodkin. But she only seeks the Baalian favor you were born to inherit. She may have usurped you once, but all her rites and rituals will never match her to your natural gift. Baal is about to name a new chosen. All is between you and my granddaughter, Orin, now. And Orin has much to learn. Our Lord does not care for beauty. Baal cares only for death. Death in numbers. Death in droves. It is a lesson Orin will only learn in death. I wonder if you will be the one to teach her. She is the child of my child, and your bloodkin. But your blood is purer than mine ever was. He made you himself. The perfect killer. I have heard of the duel Orin proposed to you. She seeks to sacrifice you in our father's temple. She dreams that your corpse will be her masterpiece. But she forgets, before your incident, you were the true master. You were murder, pure murder. No excesses, no pretensions. I believe you will be the one to slay Orin. But you will need my help. I see you have not embraced your birthright yet. Perhaps with my stewardship, Father will bless you yet. Before you may return to our Father's fold, I must first ensure that you remain as pure and worthy of his blessings as you once were. Come, child of murder, let me lead you in Baal's worship. Spirit of the slaughtered, return to us. Show us the achievements this child has accomplished in thy unholy name.
His will be done.
You took this spirit's life, and thus its voice. So, speak for it. How was this pitiable creature slain?
Reverence.
Zeal.
Long may he reign!
You bear his blood well, child. Your offering pleases Father. You are ripe for rebirth in his unholy name. We have a sacrifice prepared for you, child of murder. Let us celebrate your becoming.
What delightful circumstances we find ourselves in.
Sarevok Chatskvinva. Or as they say in the local parlance, Sarevok can eat shit.
Play whatever part you must to get us closer to Orinst. Only to remind you that it is a part.
Come, child of Baal. Offer thanks unto your father for your birth, and in so doing, be reborn anew. Slaughter this celestial being. Spill its blood into the void, and through eradication of its goodness, be exalted. Spare no violence for the Dreadlord's grace, and savor every moment of the creature's slaughter.
Vandals been damaging property around here. You have a you quickly clear things up. Vandals been damaging property around here. You have a feel. You sense the.
Behold, Father Baal, your lost child, bathed anew. Arise, unholy assassin.
His most unholy will be done.
The Grand Harper, baptized in blood. What a sight to behold. I must admit, it brings me pleasure to baptize an unholy assassin in your presence, noble heroes.
We act with a purpose, Sarevok. Perhaps you have forgotten what that feels like.
You always were vulnerable to a grand narrative. Such weakness is common among heroes of your ilk. A word of advice, unholy assassin. Wrap your leash tighter about your slaves, lest their belligerence undoes you. It matters not. The Celestial is dead. The offering is made. The discards of history may yet find their true purpose in Baal's service. As followers of a Baal spawn, take this amulet, child, and return it to your father's chamber. Cleanse the temple of Arin's girlish shrines, and bring your primal slaughter back to Baal. There is nothing more I can teach you, but if you bring about her death, return to me. We shall revel in the divine memory together, as family.
A fresh, unholy assassin, and one of Baal's own blood. You are to be commended, though I expected nothing less from a child of murder. We are his justices. We preside over his most profane tribunal. forevermore. I am Ilisera the Quick, child of Baal, slayer of his idle children, cut down before my time. Unholy assassin, your birth was a miracle. Baal conceived you from a place beyond mortality. Your birth, your creation, Father tended to you with love. He made you perfection. I am most interested to see what will become of you, child of murder.
Let's chew the fat.
Hail, unholy assassin. You have fulfilled a fraction of your blood's dark promise. You are learning it takes more than birth blood alone to become a consecrated killer. It takes belief. It was known to those who walked this path before you. Common killers. Children of murder and would-be gods. And now, it is known to you. I tricked the first, devoured the second, all in pursuit of the third, godhood. I am Amalesan, the Black-Hearted. I stood as Baal's high priestess, his eternal succor, until I sought to usurp him. Such a question Saravok must ask me thrice a year. He deludes himself with suspicions of living spawn from my womb. There are none. For devotees of death, you of his line are so basely fascinated with propagating new life. It ever seemed to me an impurity in the doctrine. It was my triumph to die among the stars, in the astral plane. It was a fine death. Perhaps the best. Tell me, Baalspawn, how do you wish to die? You mock death. Know that somewhere in the filthy air you breathe, Lord Baal is always laughing. And he laughs at you. I consumed many Baal's spawn in my life. Their
Welcome to our cause, unholy assassin. May your service to Baal be savage.
Dragonspawn, you are truly worthy of containing the Lord of Murder's immortal essence. The perfect child from the strongest stock. He made you well. In life, I was a Barzigal, kin killer of the Five. In death, I serve our father still, until the world grows silent. I offer you instruments which will aid in enacting your foul whims. I am no half-blooded drake. Alive, I was a dragon of pure cerulean chrome. But oft the need arose to disguise myself thus. Yes, Father Baal mated with a true dragon. Pray one day you have the honor of doing the same. bring death. Honored Spawn, the Five, my order of Father's Spawn, were among the first to carve the philosophy that Saravok's death began. We led our worship by killing the weakest of our own line, writing kinslaying into the canon. We hunted down his insipid fledglings in droves until we were all that was left. All but Saravok's own murderer, who murdered me in turn.
Welcome to...
Walk in the footsteps of murder, child of Baal.
Today we witnessed near perfection, Baalspawn. Your blood was foul before, but now you are twice tarnished. The unholiest assassin. Father shall be proud indeed. Go to him and present your sister as an offering. There isn't a moment to lose. I remember the first time you set foot in the tribunal. Fallen paladin, coated in the blood of your order. Pure corruption. I knew you would go far. You don't recall all the wrong you wrought at the temple. Champion of the underworld. But one matter is undeniable. You belong to Baal. He manifests within you. And you are a truer vessel of his cruelty than even the Slayer could be. The thwarted dream of 2 centuries ago. For Father to walk the plains again. You are the one that can revive that dream. While Baal receives tribute through Orin, he lives again through you. Does your body force you to blink? To breathe? To piss? Killing is but another vital function of your existence. Such is the urge. Go now, and do what I could not. Go to the heart of the slaughter, and be the last to live. The temple is beneath the city, where all blood spilled is drained. Cleanse the temple of Orin's girlish shrine. There is nothing more I can...
I hope that amulet proves to be worth it.
With that amulet, the Lord of Murder has claimed you. Let us see what you make of his gift.
We've done what we came to do. And we're all of us sullied for it. Nothing so grand. He was just another broken little ballspawn who tried to clamber to glory over the corpses of others. There was a time when he might have made more of himself. He was certainly given the chance after we threw him down, but he slunk back into his father's shadow instead. There is nothing more to say of him.
Amongst a bloody few.
Grand Duke Will Ravengard. What a thrill. Imagine the statues they'll build, the songs that they'll sing. So, what's your first order of business, Sir Duke? Yes. To kill the Absolute, to free the infected, to end the illithid grand design. Could there be a more heroic journey? But what about the next battle? And the next? How mighty will the stalwart blade be without warlock powers to help him? Tell me you haven't forgotten. Once the Absolute is no more, so is my aid. Well, perhaps I might stop by once a 10-day, see how the pup's getting along. A bit of infernal altruism, if you will. The thrill of the unknown. I can't wait to see what's in store for Baldur's Gate's newest Grand Duke.
You be careful with that amulet. I don't like it. At all. Let's go.
The spill of murderous loins approaches once more. Show a proof of faith. Spillage. Worthy hands hold proof of faith as the Dread Lord desires. Walk in blood.
Good. I was just stuck.
Oh, Master, Master, Master! You have come home to your royal dwelling. But why did you exert yourself so getting here? I was waiting to open the door. Lady Orin told me to allow your passage, but if she hadn't, I would have been naughty and slipped you inside anyway. We are unfortunate bunkmates, as she refuses to leave your estate. Every day she kills me as I'm trying to beautify the temple for your return. Up to thrice some days. Being killed by you is so much more pleasurable, Master. Yeah, I would have told you so, but didn't dream of interrupting when you were enjoying yourself so. Bashing the Hollyphant's wormy trunk was a particularly refined deed. The temple is all tidied and ready for your worshipful act of mortal combat. The eye sockets of our graven god's icon are all polished up, ready to glow menacingly as you bludgeon your sister to death. I've restacked every pile of skulls and mounted more skeletons on the walls for a cozy touch. 1,000 succubi could give me no greater delight. There's a puddle of blood on the floor as you walk in. Careful, don't slip.
I confess that the last time I came here, I thought it would be my tomb. You can see why.
Please, go.
A welcome face.
Time for a chat.
They say you will fight her, Lady Orin. Will you shatter her skull? Break her bone? Break...
Shh! Speak not. Silence is precious. To die for. And Lady Orin is already too loud. Always talking. She speaks of you. Of a duel. Are you going to choke her prattle away? Make her quiet for us? Yes. Quiet.
I hear you are to duel Lady Orin. If it pleases you, Child of Murder, I would have her carcass once you're finished. Oh, Nothing untoward. I simply wish to flay her. Oh, such skin she has. Oh, so fine and malleable. Oh, what a trophy it would make.
The stone trembles at your presence. Baal is watching. So is Orin. We are waiting.
You have returned. Do you remember? You were the one who first fed me flesh. But Lady Orin does not let us feed as you did. Please, kill her. Let us sate ourselves.
The prodigal child returns to jewel Lady Orin, no less. I normally abhor theatrics, but that'll be quite the spectacle.
I hear you have returned to do battle with Lady Orin. To tear each other's flesh from bone in his name. Reverence.
So you too passed Saravok's tribunal. Make sure your standards do not slip. We have a reputation to maintain.
You are well studied.
What have we here?
And quicker. Have more come to seek Baal's blessing.
Welcomes them all.
The spine out and worn its carcass as a cap.
Good.
Look, your savior approaches. See how it crawls towards us? Not a dream, no. No. It is blood and bone. Carrying the tyrant's rock. I said I'd leave the blood inside. But it smells sweet. And the blade was made to slice. There. No harm done. You still don't remember, do you, bloodkin?
A straggling memory rises. Day your tyranny should have engulfed this world. It was you who were the first to be enslaved. Orin's smile was the last thing you saw, her bright blade glinting as she chiseled into your skull. Her reckless digging left your mind shattered. She robbed you of your bloody birthright, reduced you to nothing. Nothing but pure hate. And now it burns, yearning for vengeance.
Husk, maggot, a ball spawn, slip sliding in filth with these pigs. You don't deserve the Murder Lord's blessing. My grandfather ruled this city. A slaughterhouse ripened for my blades. And you stole it! Enough! 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 The runt must be cold. Come close, my death's heads, but keep your blades unblooded. Bar demands a jewel. He wants to taste my domination. An altar flowing with his own unwilling flesh. Draining, dying, drip, drip, drip.
You should have trained harder, Master.
Demands a pure blood sport. But if anyone interferes, we gut them. I found my mark.
Master, you are the chosen one. He is near. He comes for you.
But you live, and her blood is returned to me. You are my chosen. I have a gift for you, child. You will use it to lacerate this world.
A gift from your god, your father, an offering of his affection for you, or confirmation that he owns you.
The Slayer form will be yours, made crueler, stronger. The prime incarnation of murder.
It seems impossible to stand against your father. But you have fought this long against your nature. There might just be a way.
Domination, slaughter, mountains of corpses. You standing atop them. You must destroy this world. It is what you were made for.
For a moment, the brine pool of your brain clears. To die, to rest, to save the world from yourself. To accept, to become his prophet, in any disobedience subject to his lash.
My chosen, my slayer, violence incarnate, you will become a testament in blood. Go, child of Baal, claim the crown of Caucasus, control the Absolute, and command a horde fit to butcher this world in my name.
Then you've made your choice. Live with it if you can. I will not.
The Lord of Murder calls you. You know what your answer must be.
Unease fills the Baal Temple's stagnant air.
So, we have the final stone. I need to see it for myself. There it is. So innocent, but such potential. You have done very well indeed.
The Netherstones pulse with psionic energy, permeating you, pulling you in line with their rhythm. The thrum quickens, rising, cresting on a single feeling. A location.
A morphic pool beneath the city itself. So that's where the Chosen imprisoned the brain. To conceal it, one would imagine, and to maintain the illusion of their own control above ground. If memory serves, there are smuggling routes beneath the city. They will take you underground. When we reach the pool, we will find the brain, and we will end this. In death, thraldom, or freedom. But a word of caution. Once we cross into the Elder Brain's domain, there will be no turning back. Finish your business here before you proceed.
The magic touch.
What happened? Where am I? You came for me. That lady, she killed Grub. I don't like it here. I'm going home.
Well met, Chosen. I smell Orin's blood on you. Such a heady perfume.
Orin taught us some very specific cruelties.
Lord Baal's chosen. You must think yourself mighty for it. Yet, you are already mighty. And you would have been mightier still if you defied him and your urges. A fitting name. But have you become the Slayer? Or has the Slayer merely found a host too weak to evict it? I shouldn't need to say it, but be careful who you take as an ally. Especially when that ally's taken residence inside you.
Sharp as ever.
You accepted Baal after everything we've been through. I can only hope this is part of some clever scheme I'm not privy to. Otherwise, you might as well have stayed with the Absolute. You and I have markedly different ideas of what amounts to a gift. I never claimed to be wise, unfortunately. You're the last thing the world needs. Another would-be tyrant who thinks they have divine rights. You're just someone's pawn, you know?
Gods, you've really done it now, haven't you? I need you to finish what we started. I need you to remember me, our mission, long enough for that. If you try anything else, I'll kill you.
Heading out.
So,